Have you ever stopped to think that even before you make any conscious effort, your reality is already being shaped? There is a silent frequency working behind the scenes of your life, and it doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to who you are. No matter what you say, affirm, or visualize, if your vibration is not aligned with the reality you wish to live, the universe will continue reflecting the old pattern. And this is where the 369 frequency comes in. More than just a technique, it is an energetic code that mirrors the sacred rhythms of the universe itself. Tesla said that 3, 6, and 9 were the keys to understanding everything, and he was right. Today, you are going to discover why. And to seal your alignment with this field of transformation, comment below. I am the 369 frequency in motion. This phrase will echo in the field, and the field is listening. To grasp the true potency of the 369 frequency, we need to begin with the one who saw reality beyond the senses. Jacobo Grinberg, a scientist, neurophysiologist, and consciousness researcher, Grinberg dedicated his life to understanding how the mind shapes reality. His work revealed that we live inside a vibrational matrix, where what we call reality is actually a projection of our mental field. For him, the universe does not react to our external actions, but to the frequency we sustain internally. Grinberg proposed that there is an informational field, the neuronal field, that interweaves with human consciousness and responds to the emotions, thoughts, and intentions we emit. This theory perfectly aligns with the principles of modern quantum physics, where the observer influences the observed, and where vibrational patterns shape the manifestation of matter. Nikola Tesla, for his part, knew this intuitively. He viewed the numbers 3, 6, and 9 not as mere digits, but as universal vibrational structures that reveal the architecture of the cosmos itself. He said, "If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration." And now, equipped with this ancestral and scientific insight, you are about to understand how to enter into resonance with the reality that is already yours. There is a subtle truth that most people ignore. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest who you are. This is the foundation of vibrational reality. From the moment you wake up until the instant you fall asleep, your mind, your body, and your emotional field are emitting signals. And those signals do not vanish. They are not lost in the void. They enter into resonance with the quantum field, shaping your experience precisely, even if you cannot consciously detect it. Jacobo Grinberg demonstrated that we exist within a perceptual matrix where reality is not objective, but rather a construction generated from our internal state. What you think, feel, and believe interlaces with the neuronal field, and this field, in turn, translates your internal frequencies into external events. This means every sustained thought, every recurring emotion, every belief you carry in silence is programming the reality you experience. Most people believe that by repeating positive affirmations enough times, or by intensely desiring something, the universe will respond. But the universe does not respond to words. It responds to frequency. If your words say, "I am prosperous," but your vibration carries fear, scarcity, or doubt, the field will reflect exactly what is strongest, the unconscious emotion of lack. This is why so many people don't see results from visualizations, affirmations, or manifestation techniques. It's not because they're doing it wrong, but because they're doing it misaligned. There is a difference between wanting something and vibrating like someone who already possesses it. This difference is what we call vibrational coherence. Coherence happens when your thought, your emotion, and your intention all move in the same direction. When you think, "I am abundant," feel gratitude for already living it, and act with the confidence of someone who knows it is true, then you create a coherent magnetic field that reorganizes your reality with precision. Joe Dispenza, neuroscientist and researcher, also confirms this principle. He teaches that your thoughts are the language of the brain, and your emotions are the language of the body. When both are in harmony, you create a state of being capable of collapsing a new timeline into the quantum field. This is the point at which manifestation stops being a desire and becomes a natural consequence of your alignment. From this understanding, we realize that manifestation does not begin with a request, but with an internal state. And that is precisely why the 369 method, when properly applied, becomes so powerful. It proposes not merely repeating phrases, but reprogramming your vibrational identity. So the question that must echo within you is not, what do I want to manifest? But rather, what frequency am I sustaining right now? Because it is this, and not your desires, that is shaping everything around you. Nikola Tesla stated, "If you knew the magnificence of the numbers 3, 6, and 9, you would have the key to the universe." This phrase, often quoted, goes far beyond numerology or fascination with mathematics. For Tesla, these numbers were not ordinary symbols, but vibrational expressions of an invisible order that supports all creation. They do not merely represent quantities, they represent energy patterns that repeat in both the microcosm and the macrocosm. But what makes these numbers so special? The number 3 is associated with beginning, the creative impulse, the spark that gives birth to everything. It is the number of primary manifestation, the point where the idea emerges, where desire begins to take form. When you think or declare something with force, you initiate the vibrational creation. 3 represents intentional thought. The number 6 is the point of convergence between the internal and the external. It symbolizes harmony, movement, alignment. It is the stage where intention must connect with emotion and action. It is not enough to wish for something. You must emotionally align with it, feeling as if it is already real. 6 is the bridge between intention and reality, between the mental field and the physical field. The number 9 is collapse, conclusion, the moment when the invisible becomes visible. It represents the closing of the vibrational cycle, the moment of surrender to the quantum field. Here, manifestation is no longer an idea. It becomes a reality imprinted in your perception, because your frequency has come to sustain it with stability. 9 is the vibrational signature of conscious surrender, when you no longer desire, but simply are. These 3 numbers form a non-linear, spiraling cycle. With each new 3, 6, 9 sequence, you trace another turn of the vibrational spiral, deepening your tuning with the desired reality. What's most fascinating is that this cycle resonates with patterns found everywhere. In the spin of galaxies, the proportions of nature, musical scales, and even the behavior of subatomic particles. The 369 code, then, is not a trick or a superstition. It is a mirror of the natural movement of consciousness through manifestation. When you apply this code consciously, with intention, emotion, and presence, you are tuning into a greater intelligence that operates silently within everything. Jacobo Grinberg described this process as the interaction between the individual mind and the universal neuronal field. When your mind emits coherent patterns, the field reorganizes the structure of reality to reflect those patterns. 3 to 6 to 9 functions as a frequency adjustment, fine-tuning your vibrational emission until it aligns with the reality you wish to live. You are not merely repeating numbers, you are entering into resonance with the pulse of creation. The effectiveness of the 369 method does not lie in the number of repetitions, nor in the ritual itself, but in the quality of the vibration you sustain while practicing it. It's easy to turn 3 to 6, 9 into a mechanical exercise. Jot down phrases, repeat mantras, follow a schedule. But if this is done without emotional coherence, without presence, without your inner field resonating with the message, the process becomes empty. Manifestation does not happen by obligation, it happens by alignment. The practice begins upon waking. When your mind is still between sleep and wakefulness, your brain operates in theta waves, the same frequency that children are in during their early years when they absorb everything without filters. This is the moment for the first 3. Repeat your affirmation with intention, as if planting a seed, but that seed will only sprout if it is accompanied by genuine feeling. When saying, "I am prosperous," for example, you must feel the peace, the gratitude, and the confidence of already living that prosperity. Visualize, breathe, feel. By midday, routine has already had time to pull you back into old mental patterns, doubts, distractions, stress. Here is where 6 comes in, a point of realignment. It is not merely another repetition, but a reconnection with the vibrational state you activated in the morning. You pause, breathe, return to center. Repeat the affirmation 6 times, but now with more clarity, more presence, more emotional firmness, like fine-tuning an instrument that has drifted off key. This is not a reminder to the universe. It is a reminder to your own field. And at night comes the 9, the most powerful moment. Before sleep, the subconscious is vulnerable, open, receptive. Everything you feel deeply at that instant will be recorded as vibrational truth. By repeating your affirmation 9 times, you are sealing that new identity into your energetic field, precisely when the rational mind is turning off and the quantum field opens. But attention, this repetition must be done with elevated emotion and full surrender. No reciting it on autopilot while checking your phone or thinking about the day's problems. Here, you enter a small, silent ritual. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, visualize the reality already manifested. Then affirm with certainty, "I am now the version of myself who already lives what I desire." This coherence between thought, emotion, and intention is what transforms a phrase into an energetic code. It creates such a clear, consistent vibrational emission that the universe has no choice but to respond, because the universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you sustain as internal truth. The 369 code is not a magic formula. It is a mirror of who you choose to be in each moment. Its repetition only becomes powerful when it is accompanied by conscious presence and genuine feeling. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to manifest something is attempting to fool the universe, and more deeply, trying to fool themselves. They repeat affirmations without believing, visualize without feeling, and desire without trusting. The result? Nothing changes. And when nothing changes, frustration grows, and the cycle repeats. More effort, more doubt, more attempts to make it work. But the universe does not respond to insistence. It responds to vibrational authenticity. When you say, "I am prosperous," but inside you are vibrating scarcity, the field perceives it. Manifestation is not based on words. It is based on the dominant frequency, and that frequency is determined by the sustained emotion, not by the declared phrase. Pretending to be well while carrying fear does not reprogram the field. It reprograms confusion. This mismatch creates what we call vibrational dissonance. It happens when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are not aligned. Dissonance has a silent but devastating effect. It keeps the field trapped in stagnation. You can repeat 1,000 times that you are abundant, but if you are in an emotional state of tension, doubt, or resentment, what will be amplified is not your intention. It is your true internal state. Jacobo Grinberg helps us understand this when he speaks about the neuronal field. This field responds to mental patterns with stability. It does not reorganize itself in response to contradictory messages. For a new reality to manifest, the corresponding vibration must be sustained consistently. Pretending does not sustain. You pretend for a few seconds, but you vibrate the opposite throughout the rest of the day. This is where the power of conscious presence comes in. Instead of forcing a vibration you have not yet reached, you cultivate feelings that are progressive and accessible. If you still cannot feel abundance, feel gratitude for what already exists. If you do not yet feel full confidence, feel acceptance for your starting point. Your vibration does not need to be perfect, it needs to be true. Another crucial point is understanding that manifestation is not about manipulating the field to get something. It is about recognizing that there already exists a version of you who lives what you desire, and beginning to act, think, and feel like that version. This, however, cannot be forced. It must be accessed. You must tune into the sense of someone who already lives it, even if only in small doses and with sincerity. The frequency of truth is one of the most potent in the universe. When you truly vibrate, even if you are just beginning, the field responds, because there is no noise, there is no contradiction, there is clarity, and clarity is magnetic. The real blockage to manifestation does not lie in the technique or a lack of effort. It lies in vibrational pretense, the attempt to appear as someone you have not yet allowed yourself to be. Therefore, the most powerful step you can take is to abandon pretense and choose every day to sustain the truest and most elevated version of yourself that you can access right now. The most common mistake in the manifestation process is believing that the universe responds to your desires, but the truth is that the universe responds to your vibrational identity. Desiring something is the initial step, but continuing to desire is a way of repeatedly declaring that you are still not what you desire, and that not yet is precisely what the field will continue to reflect. The secret is in understanding that it is not about having, it is about being. When you step into the frequency of the version of yourself who already lives what you seek, you are no longer trying to manifest something. You are simply tuning into a reality that already exists in potential, waiting for your vibrational presence to collapse it into the now. Jacobo Grinberg said, "The external world is a projection of the internal world, and what shapes that projection is the structure of your mental field, which in turn is determined by your emotions and beliefs." Therefore, the most powerful question you can ask is not "what do I want?" but rather, "who do I need to become for this to be inevitable?" And here is the key. You already know that version of yourself. You have glimpsed it in moments of clarity, courage, or deep connection. You have felt the power of being aligned, even if only for a moment. Those moments were not illusions, they were vibrational memories of your highest identity. The 369 method, when applied consciously, is more than a technique. It is a daily ritual of identity incorporation. By declaring your affirmations 3 times in the morning, you are not merely projecting a desire, you are assuming a role. You are saying, "This is who I am now." In the middle of the day, with 6 repetitions, you reaffirm that role even in the face of distractions and challenges. At night, with 9 repetitions, you seal that identity in your subconscious at the exact moment when it is most open to receiving new instructions. And the more you sustain this new identity, the more the field around you begins to reorganize the elements of your life to reflect that new being. Opportunities arise, people resonate, paths open, not because you forced it, but because you collapsed a different timeline, acting as the quantum observer who embraces a new possibility. It is at this point that manifestation ceases to be waiting and becomes a natural consequence, because you are no longer trying to change your reality and then change your vibration. You changed your vibration and reality simply follows. Real transformation happens when you stop desiring change and begin living as someone who has already changed. When your body, your mind, and your energy all say the same thing, the universe no longer needs proof. It simply responds. You are not seeking to become something. You are simply returning to who you have always been, but have not yet had the courage to sustain. Now that you have grasped the true essence of the 369 code, the question that remains is simple. Are you ready to stop wanting and start becoming? Because manifestation does not happen when you insist. It happens when you align. It is not about repeating a phrase in hopes of a miracle. It is about repeating with presence, emotion, and truth until your vibration becomes a faithful reflection of the reality you wish to live. So begin today, not tomorrow, not when you feel it's the right time. The right time is the moment you choose to be who you already know you are inside. Breathe deeply, repeat your phrase with intention, feel the vibration of the version of yourself who already lives the life you seek. And maintain that frequency, not out of obligation, but by conscious choice. If this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. That way, you will continue receiving content that expands your consciousness and connects you with the field of transformation. And remember to leave your comment below with the phrase, "I am the 369 frequency in motion." This will be your first act of tuning into the new reality you are ready to live.